Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about what Lewandowski is going to be bringing to FC Barcelona. I do believe that by now it is official. Barcelona have announced that Lewandowski is a Barcelona player. And so now it is the time, my friends. Now it's time to discuss what exactly can Lewandowski bring? What are his qualities? We have seen what he has brought towards Bayern Munich, and can he carry that over to a team like FC Barcelona under Xavi Hernandez? But before we go into any of this, I do want to shout out our sponsor for today, and that is going to be the OneFootball app. If you guys do want to find out what is currently going on in the transfer market, if you want to find out certain stats about a certain player, maybe some stories or transfer news about your favorite player, your favorite team, any of those things, all of that is going to be compact within the OneFootball app. It's a very informative app with a tremendous amount of stories and articles that you guys will love. It is my number one source of information and how I do make these videos. And so if you guys do want to download the OneFootball app, you can so by scanning the QR code that you could see here on the screen. And there's also going to be a link down below that takes you straight to the App Store. You can download the OneFootball app, then set exactly who and what you do want to follow, and then you'll be set and done from there. It's a very easy process. You guys will love it. I hope you guys do enjoy it. But now let's get back into the video and let's talk about Lewandowski. So one thing to get very clear, Lewandowski is going to come to this club and he's going to increase Barcelona's goals overall in all competitions. And that's a fact, because when we talk about the Koeman era and what Xavi did within his first 6 months as the manager, one of the main themes that we did have was that Barcelona were missing a world-class number 9. Like, yes, of course, we had a Aubameyang who came through and was greatly utilized under Xavi Hernandez, but we needed a number 9 that has a much higher ceiling, a number 9 that has a bigger character, better quality, who can respond in very tough moments throughout the season, and that is Lewandowski. And when we talk about this player here has increased his expected goals every season since joining Bayern Munich back in 2014. At this very moment, he does average a total of 1 goal per 90 minutes per game. And when he first started with Bayern Munich back in 2014, he was averaging around 0.5 goals per game. So you can see that he did grow as seasons continue to go on throughout his career. And this is why I do say this is going to be a player that's going to come in here with a lot of momentum. He has shown no signs of slowing down mentally and statistically. And one of the main reasons on why we continue to see Lewandowski outperform his previous self through these seasons, it is because we live in an era where there is a lot of technology on taking care of these players. There is a lot of preparation and better studies being made in terms of how can we give these players more longevity. It is so advanced. Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are going to be the first examples on showing why players today can last a very long time until the age of 40 years old. When we talk about Lewandowski, who's going to be turning around 34 to 35 years old, he still has a very strong 3 years. You look at Ronaldo, I don't think that Ronaldo at the age of almost 38 years old is finished. I still think that he does look physically strong, ready to compete, wanting to win more, score more. And the same thing is going to happen with Lewandowski. Now, of course, through these seasons at Barcelona, physically, we're going to see him slow down, right? In terms of his movements, his pace, his speed. But what's not going to be slowing down for this world-class number 9, it is going to be his numbers. He's going to continue to score. And hopefully he can score 40 plus goals per season for the next 4 total years. Now, let's get more specific, right? And let's talk about one of the specialties that Lewandowski does have, and let's talk about his ability to readjust his body in order to put himself in the best position to score. This is going to be extremely important for someone like Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, and Dembele, who are going to be looking for that player inside the box, because sometimes Ansu, Ferran, Dembele, they're not going to be finding the best position, the best pass for it to go straight to that striker. Sometimes there are going to be oppositions where they're going to be very defensively compact, but Lewandowski is a number 9 that can just say, look, just send the ball in my area and I'll readjust the rest. I can score from here. That is basically what Lewandowski could do. And one of the things that Lewandowski is a killer at is also by running through the defender's blind side. These defenders rarely do see Lewandowski coming into the box, and that is what's so great about this number 9, is that when you see Dembele making those crosses, Ansu Fati finding Lewandowski, is going to be something so great to see and so entertaining. And so now let's go into the next ability that Lewandowski greatly does have, and that is positioning. And we look at this picture here, and this really does tell us a lot on who Lewandowski is and what he's going to continue to be. He's not going to be a Aubameyang or a Luis Suarez of 2015, where we're going to be seeing Lewandowski drop deep, build with the other players, with like Pedri and Gavi and Busquets. Lewandowski is not going to be someone like that. He's going to be someone who's going to be very high in the box, receive the balls very high in the box, and his presence in the box, just looking at how much red is there, is going to be very strong. That's going to help Barcelona in terms of when they do face those low blocks against against the opposition, and it's going to give the defenders a very hard time on marking Lewandowski, because one of the main reasons on why it is so red in that penalty box, it is because Lewandowski successfully receives the ball. This is not him on where he occasionally likes to position himself. This is red because this is where he mainly does receive the ball most of the time, and that's very dangerous because in today's games, most of the strikers that we do see out there in Europe in the top 5 leagues, they position themselves in the same areas of Lewandowski, but they don't receive the ball as consistently as Lewandowski. Moving on towards his next great attribute, and that is going to be his instinct for goal in terms of the rebound. Every time there's a shot being made by one of the players, whether it's Ansu, Ferran, Dembele, Pedri, Gavi, once that goalkeeper from the opposition does block that ball, that rebound is going to go straight towards Lewandowski. Why? That is because Lewandowski is a killer in terms of running behind the ball and going for that rebound. At Bayern Munich, it was always shown that many defenders in that league were finding it extremely hard to find and mark Lewandowski every time he was going for the ball. He's very aggressive. He's always the first one to make those runs and look for the ball and put the ball inside the net. This is also going to be something that we're going to be seeing a lot, because when we talk about Rafinha, this is the main reason on why Xavi even wanted Rafinha. It is because Rafinha is someone that can test the goalkeeper, shoot from outside the box. Most likely, maybe 55 to 67% of the time, the goalkeeper is going to block it, is going to rebound, and Lewandowski is going to be finding those goals. It's a perfect mix. I do believe that eventually we're going to be seeing a front three of Ansu, Lewandowski, and Rafinha, and they're going to score a tremendous amount of goals. We move on towards the next great ability, and that is going to be his heading ability. Now, just to give you guys some context, Xavi Hernandez is going to be setting his team very possession based. He is always going to want to see the ball on the ground, but having Lewandowski in this Barcelona team is going to give Barcelona more permission, more confidence to make more crosses into the air. And when you combine great movement and great heading ability, that is what's going to give Lewandowski more chances to score with his head. And he's always going to be ready, like we see in these footages, and he is always going to be ready. He is one of the best header goal scorers in the world. Now let's move on towards something very important, something that many do not talk about when it comes to Lewandowski and his special abilities, and that is going to be his injury history. Now let me explain. Like I have said in the beginning of this video, we live in a time where many athletes are well taken care of. There are going to be certain athletes and players throughout these next 5 to 6 years where we are going to be so surprised to see them still play and performing at the age of 37, 38, 39, 40 years old. Lewandowski gives me a lot of confidence that he can make it for a very long time, and mainly it is because he rarely does get injured. He takes care of himself. He knows how to respond on the pitch, what's too much for him and what's not. He knows what plays to get in order for him to make the best position possible and not encounter an injury. And we have to respect that, because we live in a time where the game, football, is very fast paced and we have very saturated schedules. This is why we do see many players encounter injuries, but not Lewandowski. Lewandowski is not that. He is superhuman. You look at the history here and you can see that he barely does get injured, but when he does, he is out for very little time. And yes, of course, we see that 2017-2018 season, you can see that there is quite a few injuries, but it does not take him more than 24 hours to get over that injury. Why? That is because he understands his body, he knows how to take care of his body, and there's not a single injury in his career where it did take him out for more than a month, which is so crazy to see. And in today's times, right, within the past like 10 years, 11 years, there's only been one man that has been as consistent as Lewandowski in terms of playing 30 games per season back to back for 9 seasons, and that is Hoffenheim's Oliver Baumann. And fun fact, this is a player that is considered as a goalkeeper. So Lewandowski has a very great injury history. He rarely does get injured, but when he does, he comes back as soon as possible within the next 24 to 36 hours. And so that is it, right? That is going to be the video. If you guys are wondering, like, okay, what are going to be his weaknesses? Like, is there any weaknesses from Lewandowski, Kevin? Like, what's up with that? Well, of course, it is going to be his defensive game. Like, when it comes to his pressuring, it's not that great. Xavi Hernandez is going to need a front three that presses really, really high and efficient. So we're going to have to wait and see how Xavi readjusts his team with Lewandowski being that number 9, because Lewandowski is just not that type of player. He knows his body. He'd rather not do that in order for him to have more longevity. But what he's really great at is covering lanes from defenders in order to limit their options when they're trying to get out. Lewandowski is a great defensive game reader, but his pros greatly do outweigh the cons. Xavi has signed a killer, a tactical awareness master, someone who's very aggressive in goal. He is going to be a player where we're always going to be like, where did that come from? How did he even score that goal? I never thought that Lewandowski was going to be able to score from that angle. That is the type of player we are going to be seeing. Xavi has signed, again, a great number 9 that will give so much to this squad, and hopefully we can see this be successful successful for many years to come. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.